Oh,
hey everybody. Sorry we're late to the party.
Yeah, episode
number 6, I think.
Numbers are getting so high, can't keep track anymore.
Exactly. Welcome to the Green Room YXE on March 3rd, 2021. We're coming to you live from Saskatoon, and this is a live show, but we also have past episodes that you can go and take a look at on the No YXE YouTube channel. What are you laughing about already? Okay.
I just can't see anything because the mic's right in my.
Oh, here, really? So
that's okay.
No. Okay. So, welcome to the show, and we're going to just talk a little bit. What we do here is just talk a little bit about what's going on, and make sure that doesn't fall over. What's going on in the entertainment world. And then we have 2 awesome guests, and so we're going to get to the guests in just a second, but right now we're just going to talk about what's happening out there, like Lady Gaga's dogs were stolen, and not only that, but Ryan Fisher,
dog nappers,
was shot, which is crazy. Like the footage is horrific, and but they've been all the dogs are back with Lady Gaga, thank God. And Brian Fisher, the dog walker, he's just come out and just started talking about what had happened, and it's so endearing just to hear that the one dog, Asia, that was left behind, like when he was laying there, the dog cuddled up to him, even though there was like a pool of blood there. The dog just cuddled up to him and he just calls the dog the angel, just that helped him through that. So anyways, everything's good there, and he's healing up. So that's thankfully happening. So then Dolly Parton, she got her COVID shot, and I saw that, and I was like, oh, the headline said, what did it say? Dolly gets a dose of her own medicine. It was like, what is that? Yeah. And because she donated $1 million for the Moderna shot to be developed, and which is pretty amazing. There's another reason to love Dolly Parton. Like, she's amazing. So I thought that was pretty cool to find that out.
Yeah.
She donated $1 million to get a vaccination developed. And then really last to talk about before we get to the guests are Telemiracle 45 just wrapped up just this past weekend, and they raised $5.6 million, which is amazing.
That's pretty cool, especially with what's going on, the way they made the show work, and it looked really good.
It looked amazing, and very different how they had to do it. Yes, apparently a lot of the performances were filmed, a few months back.
Right, because there's quite an uproar about masks.
Yes.
A lot of the performers didn't have masks.
Yeah, I know. Well, I think everybody probably maybe saw it and thought, like, what's going on here? Because a lot of the Sastel Max videos were taken down. And so it was a little unusual to see, people not wearing masks when they were performing. But it was filmed back when,
which is kind of just another strange pitfall of the current plan. I mean, we got to all do our part, right? But something that's already recorded.
Yeah, I know. I know. So let's move on to our guests, and I'm not sure really what we're going to go with.
Right. Okay.
So cool.
Are we going to get to Dave, Ian, or is that going to? All right. Okay. So a little bit of a shuffle here tonight. Our friend Dave Rave in Hamilton is having a little bit of a connection issue. So Ian, the producer, is working with him right now on that. But
hopefully he can get on later because he's got a ton of stories to talk about the music.
So hey, look at our first guest tonight.
I know, it's awesome. We're going to bring out our first guest. And if you came of age in the 80s, 90s, or 2000s, and you were a live music fan in Saskatoon, there is no doubt you attended an event that was promoted by this next guy. So please welcome to the show, Darren Minnesota.
Hey,
Darren,
how you all doing? Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, welcome. Thank you for coming on to our show, and welcome.
You know, I got to tell you, Leslie, my second bar was called The Warehouse, and that's where I met Johnny. I thought he was with Pursuit, but I think it was the Honey Drippers. Is that what it is, Johnny? Is that the name of your first band?
Universal Honey?
Well,
Universal Honey.
Pursuit.
But the Pursuit did play the Warehouse. We played the Warehouse.
But John, yeah, at the Warehouse. And Johnny, you haven't aged at all.
I know, right?
Well, a little bit, but not that much.
Yeah. Still,
congratulations.
Hey, wait a second. I was there too, I think. Have I aged?
You've always been beautiful, and I don't get it. But Johnny did very well. Anyways, thanks for having me.
Yes, thanks for coming on.
It's good to see and hear you. It's been a while since, I don't know when I last saw you. It was probably, pre-pandemic. But yeah. Anyway, so you're the man, the legend. How many shows have you brought into the city?
How many shows have I done?
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually going to be doing a book here soon, and my first tour was with Ray Charles.
Oh my gosh!
And then my second tour I started touring him twice a year, was the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. And then I got lucky with Jeff Healy, and I started doing all his shows in Canada. So right out of university, I was blessed, and I got to work with three legends right out of the gate. And from there, it just hasn't ended. I've worked with probably 5,000 artists in my day.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing. You must have so many stories.
You must have so many stories. So what was the first club that you actually ran here in the city?
It was a place called Mick Dundee's. It was right out of university. I never even worked in a club. And it was a cool little club, but I made one little mistake. You don't open up a live club in a residential area. And I think my buddy Doug Bennett, Doug and the Slugs, did the grand opening. And it didn't go that well because it was really loud. But that was my first club, Mick Dundee's Down Under, back in I think 1990.
Oh wow!
Okay, wow.
Okay, you were already in.
I was already out of here. Yeah. So for a large part of your club time in Saskatoon, I was away a lot. So
and then from there it was the Warehouse. I took that over. It was a thing called Das Clubbers, and I got my buddy Randy Bachman to do the grand opening. So he played two shows for us, and that was probably the most solid acoustic designed rock bar Saskatoon's ever had. It used to be Dots after the Warehouse, but everybody played there, from the Arrows to April Wine, 5440, the Commitments. It's just nonstop live entertainment room when we used to run live 7 nights a week, and that was my second room.
That was right down.
That's where I met you, John.
Right? I think where the keg used to be, right? I'm sorry.
You got fired?
I got fired?
Didn't I have that great big hook and pulled you off the stage?
Yeah. Was that you?
But yeah, that was an incredible bar. The Warehouse, that's where we met.
It had a great big stage, awesome sound system, which is something that you've pretty much insisted on, I believe. Having your clubs is a good PA system for the band to sound as best they can and hear themselves as well on stage. So after the Warehouse, was that when you went to Riley's?
No, I just promoted a lot of shows there. I was never a part of that. I just toured.
Oh, okay.
I toured full time. I was doing over 100 shows a year. George Jones was. He called me his son. I did his tour every year. The tour from Hell with Poison and Motley Crue. I just toured, and back then it was it was a different world, and there wasn't it wasn't all corporate where one company bought the entire artist for the for North America. So it was pretty much wide open, and I did a lot of country, from Sawyer Brown to Highway 101. Don Williams, just a ton of country and a lot of rock. Jeff Healey, a lot of up and new coming bands. I don't know if you remember the Stereos.
Oh yeah. So Darren, when you said Poison and Motley Crue, you just keep going over these, big bands, and I'm like, just to take us back to that. So you were out on the road with them. Like I know you were a concert promoter, right? Did you actually go out on the road with the bands, or? Yeah,
I had the tour for Western Canada, and it was probably the #1 tour from Hell.
Okay, why was that? Like that must have been crazy, right? Because they just went. What's that movie we just saw? It wasn't Motley Crue, I don't think. It was some movie about their life and the life of
the Bee Gees.
No, it wasn't. Anyway, I'll remember it, but those were crazy times, right?
Well,
like tell us a little bit about that.
Well, this tour started in Calgary, and we're loading in, and I think I had the head pins open up, and all of a sudden, about an hour before sound check, you heard this really loud scream, and everyone goes running, and Vince Neil had his forearm in CC DeVille's throat, and his legs were shaking. He was screaming, and they were going to kill each other. Vince Neil's not a very easy guy to work with, and the whole tour, Bret Michaels actually kept it together, but the whole tour, if CC and Vince Neil seen each other, it would have been canceled. So we had to keep them separated for the whole tour, and it was just a nightmare. But
wow,
oh my gosh,
it was rock and roll. Vince Neil was. Vince Neil had to order up 2 girls from Vegas every show and have them on stage. And back then, this was right before their resurgence, so he had no money, so he had to advance some money so he could fly out his. Let's use the word dancers. But yeah, that was quite the tour. That's the definition of rock and roll.
Oh my gosh! So what did they have to have 2 buses or something? Like Vince Neil had his own bus?
Well, 3 buses. Bret Michaels actually doesn't even have a home. He still lives on his bus. He's just a road warrior. He plays and plays and plays, and so he had 3 buses. Yeah.
Wow.
3 buses, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no kidding.
Kind of.
Oh my gosh. How do you keep your head about you when you go through like that's just swept up in all of that madness?
Well, most of my best friends are either managers, agents, or singers, and the flip side to that is some singers you wish you'd never meet, because once you meet them, I mean their ego's bigger than Utah.
Oh boy! Oh no! But
no, it's fun. I mean, it's
sometimes that happens.
Yeah, it's fine. I've had some great tours. I remember George Jones. I sent him an offer every month for about 10 years because he hated Canada. He never wanted to come to Canada, and that's when he just came out with Rockin' Chair. So every month for at least 10 years, I sent Reg Mac offers for him to tour Canada. So one day my phone rings and he goes, "Darren, it's Reg Mac. George has confirmed your offers. Now, would you leave us the F alone?" and then George had a triple bypass 3 weeks before the tour and sold out everywhere his plane. But working with George Jones for I think 5 years, that's one of the highlights of my career. I love the man. He just the guy gave you goosebumps whenever he sang, and he's just an amazing guy. And he partied. He lived up his name to the day he died. George enjoyed life quite a bit.
when he he ended up getting him up to Canada, which is awesome. And so when he came up to Canada, like what clubs would he play in Saskatoon? Eh?
Well, we played Sask Place. We played all arenas.
Sask Place, right? Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it was George Jones, Sammy Kershaw. He just came up with that big song, "I Hear It's Cold Up in Saskatoon," which went #1. So that really helped sell out. And then I had a choice between Joylyn White and Shania Twain to open the tour. And you have to understand, back then, when you worked with the country artists, they stayed loyal. So you had that tour every year. And you know how I chose Joylyn White? We flipped a coin. Heads for Joylyn, tails for Shania. And then, of course, Shania blew up to be one of the biggest artists in the world. So if Shania would have won that coin toss, well, I think Darren would be a lot richer guy than he is.
Well, you got a wealth of experiences, I guess, eh?
Yeah. For sure.
Rock shows, biggest rock show you had here in Saskatoon?
You know what? I started doing all the shows at the Besbro Gardens. And for the first 2 years, I lost my shorts because it's like Saskatoon never used to be it wasn't really a good city for live. Like, live wasn't supported. And it took quite a few losses for the Besbro Gardens to build it up. And then once I built it up, I sold out everything. But I had a show with Meatloaf, and he was broke. He never had a penny to his name. And I got him for $10,000. It was the show was August 30th, and because it snowed that night. There were 6,000 people in the gardens, and this guy, Meatloaf, on an outdoor show, you have to imagine, went through 3 oxygen tanks. And I've never in my life seen a performance like that with that much energy. It was just there's no word to describe that man and his live shows. It was just a show you never forget.
Yeah.
So I'd have to say Meatloaf.
So what year are we thinking this is that you were doing this?
I'm sorry?
The first shows you were doing, the first shows in Besbro Gardens you put on, what years was this around?
Oh God, you're talking a lot of booze and a lot of bad things. That was a foggy time. I think that was the early 90s.
Yeah.
Early 90s.
Because it's really developed into a really nice place to go see live music in the summertime.
Great, yeah.
Yeah, I remember, if you ever follow Polestar, it's a magazine that lists all the concerts that are touring or the world. And there's a time, I think it was 3 years ago, where Saskatoon had a concert every day of the week. That's how strong of a concert town Saskatoon is for live.
Wow.
And then, of course, I was the founder of O'Brien's, and everyone from Mac Miller to the band Fun. I did that 173 shows my last year there, just in that one venue. Yeah. Yeah, so Saskatoon's...
Wow, you did Mac Miller, and wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, he holds the record, sold them out in 3 minutes. And at that time, not one radio station played them.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Yes. Snoop Dogg played there.
Oh, really? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I made him laugh hard he fell off his chair. I can't tell you the joke I said on here, but yeah, Snoop played there. Yeah, we've had lots of artists play there, world-class artists. It was a fun place.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
we saw Snoop Dogg at Sasktel Place, and yeah, it was a crazy show. It was just crazy. Well, it was like it was loud and. People were smoking everywhere. We brought our son, and he was, I don't know how old he was. Oh no, well maybe 10 or 11 or something like that. And it was like a crazy show. It was hilarious.
Yeah, if you ever bought a show with Snoop Dogg, the rule is and it's laws have changed now, but whoever had the very first show of the tour had to meet him at the border, whatever border he was crossing Canada. And what they do is they'd roll down their windows, throw all their pot out the window. And then as soon as they crossed the border, you'd have him, his pot. True story. And then Snoop was happy.
I bet. Yeah, no kidding. I wonder if things have changed going through the border you know, because I know so many bands had such a hard time with that going through the border. But
I think it depends which border.
Yeah, I bet. So what was the craziest shows that you've been on tour? Like, so tell us some more about that, because I think people are just fascinated with it was just different artists that you've been with. So what are some other shows that you just thought were,
when I first started, and I kind of had a big back then, you know, it was a different time, but if you ever watched the movie Blow, the music was just like that.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, I mean, rock and roll was just like that. Everyone did it. Nobody knew it was bad for you. You know, the next day your symptoms was you had a runny nose. So, there's a lot of stories I don't think I can tell on here, but it was like the Wild West.
Yeah, I bet.
It was just a lot of fun. But the first hip hop show I did at O'Brien's, I got introduced to Bear Mace. We had Young Jeezy there, and you know, there was kids there like 13, 14 years of age. They had hatchets and knives in their boots. And never realized how dangerous some of these artists are. But that was the first night I got introduced to Bear Mace. And once you Bear Mace a venue before a show starts, it's not good, because either the show's canceled, you have to refund all the money, a riot breaks out, or in our case, Young Jeezy was kind enough to let the air room out and resume the show. But that was pretty crazy. And then I remember a show with the Georgia Satellites, because I did their last show they ever played downstairs at TCU. And I'm not sure if you know what a band rider is, but it's all the stuff they require in a dressing room. It was the first band to ask for 2 cases of condoms and a pair of white socks, white socks. And to this day, I could never figure out why. I mean, I know why, but I mean, look, that wasn't the most attractive band in the world, and they had one hit. Probably the craziest show was actually, you won't believe this, was I used to be president of the College of Education, and we had no money, so I decided, or got approved, to bring in some big bands. And back then the campus didn't bring in big bands, and the first band I brought in was the Powder Blues. And I'll never forget this. It was sold out like in days downstairs at TCU. And I went into the dressing room to get the band to come on stage. You couldn't see them. You couldn't even see through the dressing room. There was so much smoke. I mean, there was more pot in the air that you walked in, you got an immediate buzz. And I said to myself, there's no way they're making it to the stage. There's no way they're going to perform. Well, when they hit the stage, it was magic. It was just something. And that was a show that just blew me away, how anyone can perform at, you know, being that buzzed. But that was just an incredible moment that I'll never forget.
So did you ever do any shows at the Upper Mub?
Sorry, I missed that, Johnny?
Did you ever do any shows at the Upper Mub?
Yes, when I was, I did, if I had money, tell you what I'd do. I put an offer in to bring in Freddie Mercury. And I had a president and 3 vice presidents, and he says, no way, you're crazy. He's not going to sell 1 ticket. He sold out in seconds. Wow. And what a crazy show. But yeah, we did a lot of, and back then, a lot of solo artists like Mike Woods and Baldry. Baldy. They all sold out up there. So
David Lindley, you were talking about, not Freddie.
David Lindley, I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Gotcha. David Lindley.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Right on.
Wow.
So we did a lot of shows.
I used to go to a lot.
Do you remember the Arrows?
Yep. I remember that.
I probably sold them out 3 times. Here's a band who had 2 hits, and I sold them out to Manhattan, I think twice, downstairs TCU, and then at the Warehouse.
Wow.
And I'm not sure, not many people remember who that band was.
Yeah, I
love the Arrows.
Yeah. The Toronto band, or is that a Winnipeg band?
Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was voted the most. Wow. Yeah. And then, of course, that Pursuit of Happiness. I mean, they had this guitar player. So there's a lot of shows that
Was that
Have a chapter.
Crowbot at the Saskatoon Concert Center? Was that your show too?
Crowfoot?
Crowbot.
No, that wasn't. No.
Oh,
No.
all right. So now you're back. You're kind of on the road with your current country show, which is the sons and daughters of country stars from the past.
Yeah, call me Twitty and Loretta Lynn. They're grandchildren, Trey Twitty and Taylor Lynn.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, we did. Well, we had about 100 shows planned for last year. We got home from. We finished in Truro, Nova Scotia on March 3rd, and Trey Twitty and I were talking a couple weeks after, and we thought, with COVID, we'll be back on the road in about 3-4 weeks. 3-4 months, and well, you know where we are. So
Right.
the world's going to change. I think a lot of these theaters aren't going to reopen. A lot of them are privately funded, and I think a lot of these places aren't just going to. These smaller theaters aren't, are sadly not going to survive. I don't think.
Right.
So the whole touring industry, I think we're in for some not very pleasant times coming ahead, Johnny. I think the clubs that are larger than 500 are going to be dinosaurs. Once touring starts, the problem with that is that these artists right now are starving, and my heart goes out to them. I mean, they make all their money by touring. Nobody buys records anymore, so the only money they make is by touring and selling merch. And when the borders open up and we're COVID free, there's going to be a tour bus behind a tour bus behind a tour bus every day. The competition is going to be fierce, and then I think a lot of bars and venues aren't going to reopen. It's just it's sad,
Yeah, no doubt, for sure. But with all that traffic, you'd think that somebody would want to jump in and throw their hat in and open a new club, maybe.
Well, I see opportunity. I see opportunity, so I'm opening. As everyone knows, I'm opening up a new venue. I'm taking my 35 years of experience and putting it all in one venue. It's going to be Friday and Saturdays is going to be a themed club night consistently with bands on Friday, DJs on Saturday. We're going to do late doors at 10 p.m. And the sound system we're putting in there is probably the only sound system of a venue this size in Canada, called a turbo sound system. And we're going to try, we'll be able to run concerts 7 days a week. Right now, I probably got 8-9 concerts confirmed. And on top of all that, we're putting in a 3-meter by 16-meter video wall. So there won't be a bad seat in the house. And I'd like to think that this place will be exactly what Saskatoon needs. It'll be for all genres of music. It's my hope that every band, every DJ, every artist in Saskatoon have a platform to showcase their talent. To put things in perspective, at the Roxy on Broadway, Nickelback played there, Marianas Trench, Ian Thornley. I could give you a list of bands that's where they got their start in Saskatoon. And right now, there's no one doing that. And music's my passion. Now that I'm sober, music's never been more passionate to me in live entertainment, and it's dear to my heart. So this will probably be my last venue and hopefully my legacy. And I love live. I can't live without live. And there's no better film watching a youngster take that stage for the first time, and their eyeballs get about the size of bowling balls. And it's just you can't pay for that. And to me, that's my new high.
Well, that's awesome. Like I just think that's so exciting, and thank you for doing this and getting another venue together, because that's what artists need, and they can't get their music out and play live if there's no venues. So you're giving something that is amazing for the artists. So thank you for doing that. And where's your club? Where is the club?
Well, it's right down Saskatoon. I'm not going to divulge a location quite yet until next month. But it's right downtown. It's going to seat about 450, 500. And Thursday nights, I can tell you that are going to be live. We'd like to have 2-3 local bands playing every Thursday, unless there's a concert. We're going to come right out of the gate with that. And then I'm proud to say that Band Wars is coming back in January. And I have 3 of the biggest names in Canada in the music business as the final judges. That makes this legitimate. You can check with bands like One Bad Son, just a list of bands north of Shorty that we're seeing in front of these guys who are just very powerful, humble agents. And then we have one other judge who's really, really, really big name, which I can't say right now. So Banders will also be coming back. So I hope that every band we have in this province and in this country play on our stage, because they'll be more than welcome to play in a world-class sound system. And the venue will actually love them, advertise them, put up posters.
That's important.
That's the hardest part. Johnny, as you know, I managed Danny Svensson and Amy Heff, and we did tours across Canada. And you go to these clubs, and there wouldn't even be a poster up, and nobody knew they were coming. And we're going to do it the opposite. You know, we're on 6 social medias. We're going to be on every radio station from the Bull to Cool, Cruise, Rock 102, C95, CFCR, and we'll give every band as much love as we can to get them in front of hopefully their fans.
That's cool. So have you? Can you divulge the capacity, of the room, or?
I'm hoping it's going to be 450, 500.
That's a good.
Right now, I confirmed a show for the spring. They'll sell it 2 nights, and right now the capacity until the fire marshal actually comes in is 450. I don't overcrowd, and I won't. Mm-hmm. But I'm hoping to hit 525. And in today's day and age, that's the big clubs are dinosaurs. Like there's clubs that hold 800, 1,000 people. The insurance for a club right now is about $80,000 a year just on insurance.
Wow.
And I mean, when I was at O'Brien's, I sold out maybe 4 or 5 shows a year. So I just think the big venues are dinosaurs, and I love up close and personal and in your face.
That's
it's going to make for a great concert.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But only if you play there, Johnny and Leslie.
Well, we'll be there.
Oh yeah, if you'll have us, we'll be there.
We'll be there. What's now your? I've seen some of your banners on social media, and you're talking about the turbo sound system. And it's the only one in Western Canada, or in Canada?
Well, it's from the UK. I think there's the Starlight in Edmonton has half a system, but not the turbo monitors. And then I don't know if the Danforth in Toronto has one, but I don't think as a club like at our size, has a turbo sound system. You're talking $250,000 of speakers hanging from the ceiling, and it's from the UK. It took a month to get here.
Wow.
And it's gonna sound is everything, and that's 2 things I never cheap out on is number 1, sound, and number 2 is the artist. I treat every artist like family. If they want a case of beer, I give them 2, and I think I'm legendary for that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But that's not the best. That's not the best part about the Roxy, Johnny.
Okay.
When you come play there, we're going to have showers, weight room, washer dryer, a green room, shore power for the buses, everything that no other venue of our size in Saskatoon has. So when bands come there, they're going to feel right at home, and I'm very proud about that.
Yeah, that's all. That's A1. That's A1.
Bands will always remember. Artists will always remember that.
They'll remember Saskatoon for that.
Exactly.
So,
that O'Brien's one of the most frustrating things is that, let's say you're playing there, Johnny, and you got 1,000 people in there, and you got to go to the washroom. We have to go upstairs through the crowd into the washroom where the public is using the washroom. So no, this will have everything. It will be first class and pro artist.
I would just go in my pants. Well,
when you've done that once before, I know.
Once. So you've obviously toured all over North America. Have you done any tours in Europe?
No. Amy, a half girl used to manage, did, but I'm happy to say I'm going to be doing a tour in Alaska, and then we're going to do North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana with Conway, Twitty, and Loretta. Would be in Trey and Taylor.
Okay.
So I'm finally glad to be doing that.
Some of the nicest rooms that you've seen, which is your personal favorites?
Oh God, there's a few. The Queen E. I mean, in Vancouver is remarkable. I've had Jeff Healy there, Richard Marks, just the Queen E. Just some smaller theaters. I'm just trying to think here. You got me on the spot here. Where am I thinking here? Oh, have you ever the Windspear in Edmonton? Is just it has that open concept, like you're in a circle. But there's a beautiful theaters. Victoria, the Royal. I think it's the oldest theater in Canada. And some of them are just there's no words to describe the feeling it gives you.
Yeah. Did you ever do any shows like, the Stone Pony in Jersey, or, the Whiskey A Go-Go in LA? Any of those kind of legendary Maxwell's,
No. I wish. No. I had a chance years ago. Capitol Records offered me a job, and I turned it down. Sometimes I don't know why I did that, but I've never done any shows in the States except for where I'm doing a couple tours with Trey and Taylor once the COVID restrictions are lifted. And the first one's in Alaska. I'm really pumped about that.
Wow.
Yeah, well,
I've always wanted to go to Alaska, so why not go there and get paid?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Make it work.
Yeah.
Make it work for you. Make Alaska work for you. Looks like Texas is opening up. Could those in Texas?
Yeah, well, actually, the Trey and Taylor play there lots, and well, let's be honest. If we were to tour California, it would take us longer to tour California than it would all of Canada. That's how big California is.
Yeah,
so it takes a lot of juice and a lot of manpower to do that. Now, of course, I'm not an American, so it makes it tougher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your cousin Ian Lawn says to say hello.
Ian,
Hi, Ian.
Ian's probably the best mailman the city's ever had. He's consistently late. He always complains. Give Ian my love. I love Ian.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Well, is there anything, when you're saying that Roxy's got something booked already for the spring, late spring?
We have like confirmed shows for October, November, 2 shows in December, 1 in January, and 3 in March.
Are you booking full capacity? Is it full capacity, or is it half capacity, or what are you looking at?
These bands are all full capacity. We're going to try to open August 5th. And the offers I'm scared to offer right now because COVID changes. It's just so frustrating especially from trying to book and organize anything, because, I mean, every day it changes, these COVID regulations. So right now we're going to open August 5th, and we're going to have the first month and a half is going to be mostly Saskatchewan talent. And we have so much Saskatchewan talent here, so I'm sure you can guess the names. And all the offers are with half capacity. I think we'll be at full capacity, but I can't take this much longer. I feel sorry for everybody out there, every music fan, every nightclub fan. I mean, it's just mentally, it's just draining. And I'm set firm on August 5th. So if I'm allowed 50 people, we're opening. I don't care. It's just I got to give hope, and. And again, these artists are starving, and whatever I can do to help, it's all about the artist.
Yeah, that's a fan. Yeah, it's so awesome. It could be such a challenge trying to think ahead with COVID and opening a club and what things are going to be like.
Well, at least the vaccinations will all be hopefully given by then. So
yeah,
that's providing
Well,
hope.
we hope
Yeah,
so.
so-
I've had everything confirmed for June. I had a whole bunch of shows confirmed, everything built, the ad mats and everything, and then COVID again with the numbers going up. So I moved the grand opening 3 times now. So, and I'm not
Yeah.
changing from August 5th. So if we can only operate at 50%, then let's have some fun and operate at 50%.
Yeah.
But we're going to do the club. We're going to do it right. It's going to be a massive renovation, and it's going to be pro artist, pro DJ, and I think the city will love it.
I think so too. Yeah,
Especially with the
Yeah.
theme that I'll share probably in the next couple of months, what we're doing on the specific nights, and then lots of live.
yeah. So, like you say, we miss live music too. It's
been brutal.
It's been a really tough go, but.
How are you two doing with not being able to perform? Like, I mean, how mentally tough is it for two? You have music in your veins. Johnny,
Yeah.
when you came out from your mother, you came with the guitar. I mean, how do you cope with this?
We just we put out a record, and we've just been super busy trying to we've been doing interviews and trying to do social media and videos, live streaming, just trying to do all the other stuff except play live. So it's going to be great to hear that first amplifier cranked up just at sound check, that crack and that crang.
We'll probably be just like tears pouring out of our eyes when that happens.
Hey, you got some more love showing up here.
You
You got Tristan Myers saying, "Go Darren."
Hey, he's on board for right on the get go. I love Anchor. He's a good guy. He's just been around and very talented.
Right on. You got Shelly Johnson says hi from the USSU days.
Oh my goodness! Hi,
Yeah.
Shelly. I had a crush on her.
Yeah, she told me. No.
I have no secrets. I'm like an open book. Give Shelly my love. She was a wonderful team member at the USSU.
And we also have a comment here from James Waterworth. Raven Leader from Phoenix will be at the opening.
Tell him the war is over. That's yes, he will. He's coming up from Phoenix for that one.
Well, he might have to isolate still. Who knows, right?
Who's that?
Tanis Makala. Hi, Darren. Happy to hear your new ventures, my friend.
Oh,
Well, thank you, Tanis. And Tanis owns shares in the old Roxy. We used to cash our paychecks there. Tanis is a huge rock fan.
Right on. Hey, I got something. I just want to. What do you think about the city's plan to open up in Friendship Park, that 7,500 seat, well, not seat, but outdoor venue right by the river? Have you seen anything about that?
I think it's great, but I'm not a fan of these. I'm not a fan of these city facilities, and from my standpoint, where I'm at. You take South Place, for example. They don't pay rent, they don't pay taxes, they're funded by the taxpayer, and yet you're competing against them to buy shows, which is just ludicrous. For example, Collective Soul. I have a very good relationship. I've toured those guys for years, and they played O'Brien's for me the second last time as a favor, but the last time they were here, they're good for 12 to 1,500 tickets all day long, or they were. And then, when the city of Saskatoon is offering them twice that money in a venue where they don't pay rent, they don't pay taxes, they're competing against the venues that are paying taxes. It just drives me nuts. That part of the business I don't like, but I think to have an outdoor amphitheater by the river, I think it'd go over. I think it's needed. Yes. It's time to get theater that holds more than 2,000 outdoor amphitheater, not 10 miles out of Saskatoon, you know. And I think it'd be good for all the local businesses, the spinoff.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there any
So-
set date on that, John?
No, I've just seen some pictures in the paper and stuff like that. I haven't really.
Unfortunately, I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
that'll happen while I'm here on Earth.
Well, I guess it got approved. The city council approved it unanimously, apparently. So
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
you can fact check me on that, but that's what I understood. So I don't know how soon they're gonna. I don't know if they have to break ground or what, move a statue, cut down a tree, or what they're gonna do. But I just
So
hope.
where are they going to put the new arena?
Yeah, good question there too, right?
Yeah, I personally think they should have moved it another 20. Yeah, that's the downtown arena would have been well, it would have probably saved every business downtown.
It certainly changed
the
the landscape of downtown for sure. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
I just hope that when they put that concert center down by the river, like your amphitheater you called it, that there's some sort of permanence, that it has some sort of look to it that is not like a festival. Nothing wrong with festivals, but it's going to be part of the city, along the river. I hope it kind of has some sort of permanence that looks like it's meant to be there, not just like a gypsy traveling roadshow kind of thing.
I think there's about 80 amphitheaters in North America, and I think Live Nation, I may be wrong here, but I think they run about 35, 40 of them. So I would imagine that they'll be doing tours and checking out every amphitheater that's in North America, and hopefully that will help them, make the right decision.
Yeah, for sure. So we got another comment here. Johnny Gibson, proud of you, Darren. And
Johnny Gibson's our designer. He's a genius at what he does.
That's awesome.
He does all our artwork, and he's been a friend of mine for many years.
Perfect. So we're going to wrap up here, and I just want to check with you your most all-time favorite concert that you promoted
in Saskatoon.
In Saskatoon.
Well, there's two artists I've met in my life where I don't have an ego, and I don't look at artists with gaga. But there's two artists I've met in my life that when I seen them, I seen true greatness. Tom Petty, I was part of bringing him here.
Oh my
God!
God!
And then meeting Eminem. But Tom Petty was probably right up there. Him and George Jones.
Good answer, Tom.
Oh my gosh! Perfect. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, Joe Cocker opened the show. He finally got sober because Joe was a miserable cuss. And some say he stole the show. That man, boy, was singing sober. I'm not sure if you're at that show, but I think he put on a performance of a lifetime, and I'll never forget that show until the day I die.
Right.
Wow. No.
Which hopefully it is a long ways off. So.
And then Johnny, seeing you perform at the warehouse, that was probably number one.
Yeah.
Warren Metternack
was at the Tom Petty show.
Hey, Warren. Hey, Peggy.
Hey, guys.
Thanks, Warren.
Anyways, Darren, it was great getting you on here tonight, and I know that you're going to have more news for us, so we're going to extend an invitation for you to come back anytime you want and talk to us.
Yeah, it's been awesome just hearing all your stories and just everything.
You should draw a face on the top of your head, and then we'd maybe get a better idea.
I just wish I had hair, Johnny. I miss my hair. I wish I had your hair.
Yeah.
No, if you next time we chat, I'll come out with. I'll make your promise. I'll announce all the concerts that our friends at the local radio stations will be announcing. Our team nights, who's playing, and the lineup of bands, DJs Thursday night. We'll do a nice professional press release with what the Saskatoon has to look forward to when it comes to live.
Awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate that. we've been putting, I mean, there's not a lot going on, but we ask the clubs and the performers to let us know so we can give it a mention here. We're on here weekly, every week at 7, and we try to have 2 guests, but unfortunately that didn't work out this week. So I don't think we got the technical issue resolved with Dave Rave.
But this has been amazing.
It's
Thank
been
you
great
so
spending
much
the extra
for
time with
coming
you, Darren,
on.
and thanks for
Yeah,
talking.
it's been great having the extra time with you. So
Yeah.
No, it's all my
Okay.
pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm humble for you asking me.
Yeah. Go on now.
And Johnny, he did really good. He did really good with Leslie there. Like, Leslie, how did that happen? I'm joking. I love you guys.
Yeah.
I
Thanks,
love
Darren.
you
appreciate
too.
it.
Thanks so much.
I
Darren.
appreciate it
bet.
very much. And we'll see you soon.
You bet.
Absolutely.
Keep on
All right.
rocking, buddy. Yeah.
Namaste. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So
That was awesome.
that was great
There's so
talking.
many, just hearing of all the stories.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably had so many more stories to tell us about.
Yeah, I can only imagine to like hear the inside story about some of those
Yeah,
stories.
exactly.
Because
No kidding.
we've certainly seen some things happen in our time.
Yes, the X-rated stories.
The X-rated,
that
the
he
after
has.
hours,
Mhm.
the Green Room after hours.
Yeah,
That's coming up.
yeah.
But
So, yeah. Well,
a bit of sad news though that Dave can't make it tonight.
yeah, I
And
know.
all of you fans of Dave who tuned in tonight to check us out talking with Dave, we will get him back as soon as possible. We're going to figure this out.
Figure it out.
Maybe even next week, if we can do it. Maybe we'll even try for next week if he can figure out a way.
Yes, but can we at least talk about what you did? You did a Dave Rave playlist.
Right.
So, and it's awesome. Like Dave's music is so awesome. You guys have to check it out.
Yeah, we were so excited to talk to Dave tonight because we've hung out with him and spent some time with him, and
He's just an amazing guy. He's just
a great guy, and we'll save it for the show. But that guy has a very, very long and rich history in Canadian music, and he deserves
there's a picture.
he deserves a really good shake at it here.
He does. Yeah.
I can't even tell you how many. All right, so we just confirmed with our producer in our ears here that Dave will be with us next week. So please come back and check us out. In the meantime, like Leslie was saying, there is a Green Room YXE Dave Rave playlist up on Spotify. It's under our handle called HoneyTunes-CA.
It should come up if you do. What's the actual playlist?
The Green Room YXE,
Green Room YXE
Dave Rave playlist. So
Dave Rave playlist.
go
Check out his
it out.
music, and you'll be like blown away.
It's not entirely. I mean, it's got a lot of songs on it, but it's not complete because he's an artist who has, I don't know, he's probably got like at least 6 albums that you can't find on Spotify or digital streaming or iTunes. So,
he's played with other really great artists as well.
Yeah,
Done a lot of
it's
collaborations.
gonna be a good chat talking to Dave next week. So, what else we got here before we?
Well, we'll just talk. Usually we talk now about at the end of the show what's going on around town, but we know that there's not a lot. But just check out your clubs online and see, because things are always changing. So maybe there's other things going on. We just want to thank Darren Minnesota for coming on tonight. That was amazing. And make sure that you check us out next week on Wednesday at 7 for Dave Rave.
Dave Rave and JJ Boss.
And JJ Boss. So yeah, we just want to thank everybody for coming on here tonight. And please subscribe and follow No YXE on YouTube and Facebook. And the Green Room also has t-shirts. So be sure to check that out on No YXE website. And just, I was going to say we should do some shameless self-promotion, but we already talked a little bit about it, that we have a new album out. It's called Random Fireworks on a Beach Obscured by Trees, and that's our band Tucker Lane. So go check that out. It's on all streaming and digital services, and you can check out tuckerlane.ca. And I'm going to just talk about the other No YXE shows quickly here. Check out Yxe Sports Podcast on Mondays at 6, and then for everything sports. And then Let's Chat is Tuesday at 11 a.m. I think that's in Arabic, so that's pretty cool. And then there's In Focus YXE Thursdays at 7. That's the game show. That's a lot of fun, and there's prizes given away. And then I think there's, I don't know if there's still Slow TV YXE on Sundays at 10. Yes, there is. There it is. Slow TV YXE Sundays at 10 a.m. So check that out. That's really chilled out for your Sunday mornings. So yeah, and if you're an artist and you have something coming up, be sure to email us at thegreenroom@noyxe.com. Oh, it's the Green Room YXE at noyxe.com. So yeah, and we'll talk about it. So that's it. Have a great week, and see us next Wednesday at 7 p.m. and just keep rocking and rolling, you guys. We're getting through this, and soon, before you know it, there's going to be clubs open. There's going to be music playing in the streets, and
sun will be shining, snow will be melted,
and the rainbows will come out. It's true. Okay, take care. Bye, everybody.